Amy Brown's baby boy, and I invite you to call and join in the conversation. Here's the number. Write this down or just commit it to memory. It's 888. It's very easy. 888-539-2980. That's 888-539-2980. We're talking about obesity, and all of us know, we've heard all the information about it, that it's unhealthy, and that we know the states that have people that are obese, the medical costs for that, and all the things that's associated with that is just astronomical. So the question we're asking is, what are the things you've done to lose weight successfully? And if you haven't been able to be successful at it, maybe you fail over and over again like I have, what have you done? And let's see what works and what does not work. Now, here's the affirmation for today. This is what is keeping me on track. Nothing tastes as good as health feels. That's the quote for the day. Nothing tastes as good as health feels. Now, I want to talk to Diane. Diane in Redondo Beach, you always struggled with losing weight. You lost 15 pounds in 6 weeks, and you did that with a low-fat vegan diet. Tell us about that, Diane.
Well, Les, like you, I've been struggling with my weight my whole life, and I've really worked hard trying to eat healthy, and it just hasn't been successful. And it's true, I had increasing health issues, and long story short, I read 3 very impactful books that are based on peer-reviewed scientific research. And the first is called The China Study by T. Colin Campbell. I recommend that everybody read it. It is a summary of research. The second book is called Dr. Neil Barnard's Program for Reversing Heart Disease. For reversing diabetes. Dr. Neil Barnard's Program for Reversing Diabetes. And the third very important book was called Preventing and Reversing Heart Disease by Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn from the Cleveland Clinic.
Yes, I'm reading that one right now. Yes.
And let me tell you, these 3 books were life-changing for me. And it made me realize that at the end of the day, evolution moves very slowly, and our bodies have not evolved very far past what you consider a bald gorilla.
Uh-huh.
We actually are eating, the standard American diet is an absolute guarantee of disease. And so the long story short, and I'm going to make this brief because I'm actually due on a meeting in a second, but I wanted to share with you that it is not difficult to do. I've been eating as much as I want, and I'm losing weight without effort.
Yes, I'm a vegan as well, and that's what I've done. I've committed myself to be a vegan and 80% raw to fight off cancer cells. And know something else? I don't find myself being hungry as I was when I was eating unhealthy food.
Now, let me just reach out to everybody who's listening to us thinking, are you crazy? I could never do that.
I used to think that too, yes.
I just want to reach out to those people and say that if you'll commit to it for 3 weeks, the cravings that you will have for cheese and stuff like that really do subside. And they explain in this book how physiologically there are protein sequences in cheese that imitate opiates. They're called caseinate. They're actually in the opiate family. So when you eat stuff like cheese, you're actually stimulating your opiate receptors in your brain. And so you actually do get kind of addicted to that stuff. That's why they call it comfort food. So
yes, that's right. Yes. And
3 weeks. But let me tell you, I am eating large portions. I feel great. My allergies are gone. Ironically, pain that I had in my knee for more than 2.5 years that felt like arthritis had gotten really, really bad, and it was gone within 1 week.
And guess what happened for me? I was having acid reflux and taking various prescription drugs for that, and I don't have that anymore.
Yeah. So listen, I want to review those books for everyone to write down.
Yeah. Now you said the China Study. I know about the Cleveland diet to reverse heart disease, and the China Study. What is the other one?
It's called Dr. Neil Barnard's Program for Reversing Diabetes. And Barnard is spelled Barnard. Dr. Neil Barnard's Program for Reversing Diabetes. I'm sorry, I keep saying that.
Yeah, I got it. No problem. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for calling in. And continue to make healthy choices. Okay, very good. I want to talk to Chris in Los Angeles. You made the decision to get healthy in high school because you weighed at 16, 250 pounds. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was, growing up as a kid, I just ate junk, and my parents weren't too strict about, my eating habits. So it wasn't until when my parents received a call from Kaiser, they told them that I was overweight, and because after a checkup and everything, they run my paper or whatever the information through, and I was borderline diabetes, and in my family, I guess the only other person I knew that had diabetes was my dad, and he was overweight, but I didn't really think too much of it. So, I mean, of course, being a kid in high school, whatever, but then my parents were like, "Oh, we need you to get serious about being healthy, because you don't want to." Because I saw what my dad went through. Like, he had to do all kind of medical and prescription and all kind of stuff. So, my dad, they were really motivating. They were there by my side, and they were actually exercising with me, and it was just I forget how long, but it was starting junior year, all the way graduating from high school. They helped me out exercising, dieting, and sure enough, I dropped a lot. I went down to 172.
Oh, fantastic! Now, Chris, how are you doing now?
Now, I actually, from 172, I bumped myself back up to 185, but I guess it's okay. I mean, I don't feel comfortable with it because, I in my mind, I know I was down at 172. I was comfortable. I was comfortable there, but I had a girlfriend. I mean, I still have my girlfriend now, and she was telling me that I'm too skinny. You look sick, and I mean, she was
now was she physically fit? Your girlfriend, was she physically fit?
No, she's not. Well, not really. She's not, the outdoor.
Yeah, usually the overweight people tell you that you look sick when you lose weight. Yeah, that's what they usually say. Oh, you look real skinny and sick. You need to stop right there. Stop right there. Well, listen, congratulations. How old are you now, Chris?
I'm 19.
Okay, fantastic. Continue to make good choices, and don't allow that to influence you. Do what you know works for you, and that will be a healthy life for yourself, okay?
All right, cool. Thanks.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much for calling in. Thank you for listening. Robert, thank you. Robert from Los Angeles, you had a 42-inch waistline, and you decided to lose it via protein shakes. And has that been successful for you, Robert?
Yes, it has, Les. It's been successful for me. It's the one thing that I started doing that I could do consistently, and I stuck with it. And it also started other changes for me too. I started cycling in more fruit and vegetables, and it just seemed to serve like a catalyst to get me in the right direction.
Well, okay, what moved you to do that? Why did you decide that you should do that for yourself?
I think it was in a way kind of just concern, a little bit of disgust, and just, I guess it was for the longest time I'd wanted to lose weight. And you know what? I could never really successfully start. And it seemed like, years would go by, and I was getting older. I'm going to be 60 this year.
Yeah, hold just a minute, Robert. Don't go anywhere. I've got to take care of some business. I'll be right back with you. Please be patient with me. I'll be right back with you. Hey, listen, we're talking about, have you had the struggle of losing weight? And if you've been successful, I want to hear your story. And if you're still struggling with it, I want to hear your story. And if you are not dealing with it in terms of the fact that you know you should do it, but you haven't done it, call in. We're going to get unstuck together. Listen, the number to call is 888-53